to, like give the overview of the, issues that we have been facing in Nepal in terms of, urban transportation. Mainly, I'll try to touch, briefly on the vehicle growth and traffic congestion issues that we are facing, issues related to air pollution and road safety. And I have also added this point 4. So if we get a time, we'll discuss how can we from Nepalese diaspora can support on the issue. And what I've seen is these issues are mainly caused by issues related to land use and planning, related issues, and issues related to design and delivery of the highway and like road schemes. Also, I have some kind of reluctance to use the latest technology and method. I think I need to minimize this. And and again, I have seen the issues related to gap on the existing institutional framework and policies, and issues on the stakeholder management and coordination related issues, and again, lack of the public awareness and enforcement. And I will try to give the like some way forward the opportunities that we are having in the context of Nepal, and I'm trying to divide them into different categories. I'm just trying to call them short term, like they can be, these things can be improved by changing the design, without changing the policy and without changing the like investment direction. We can like improve the road intersection, in my opinion. I'll try to give you some example from the like Qatar Highway Design Manual, FSWA, DMRB, these standards. Also, I think we can have a big opportunity to improve the public transport system in Nepal. I will try to give some example from the Cambridge. And we have a massive opportunity to improve the sidewalk and pedestrian crossings, like plan and develop the cycle lanes, start working on the safe system approach of the, like road safety. And again, like making them road safety audit mandatory, and, work on the institutional framework as per the global practice. I'd just like to mention here in this topic, I wrote an article in Kathmandu Post around, I think, 4 years back. So this article is available in our internet. So I'll share this slide. If you are interested, you can have a look at this. So why road safety audit is important, why it should be mandatory from the policy level. I'm trying to argue that in this article. And again, like introducing the system of this traffic impact study, and like again introducing the system of this designer risk management, risk assessment system. So these things, if time permit, we will discuss. And again, here I'm listing out some long-term way forward. Like I'm telling them long-term because I'm assuming that we need to change the policy to attempt that, and we need to change the investment direction in the context of Nepal. For example, like planning things in the decide and provide approach in the transport planning, full implementation of the safe system approach for the road safety, supporting the decarbonization, like moving towards e-mobility, and it could be a like BRT, metro rail, where our government need to change the investment direction and change the policy. So I'm calling them as a long-term solutions. In this slide, I'm just trying to give the, like trend of increment of the registered vehicles in Nepal. If you see here, the last 10 years, there is 5 times increment of the registered vehicle in Nepal. So and we can also observe that the trend of vehicle growth is rapidly increasing after we moved into fertilization. So if you see here, in last 20 years, there is a 35 times increment of motorized vehicle in Kathmandu Valley. So what is happening because of that? The roads are congested and travel speed are as low as 7 kilometers per hour during peak times sometimes. And again, what is happening? External cost to the economy due to that traffic congestion is around 1% of GDP. There is no clear study conducted in our contest for the, like to determine the external cost to the economy because of traffic congestion. But if we compare this with other Asian cities, so we can say that it's around, 1% of GDP. So again, in this slide, I'm trying to say what would happen if all people who can financially afford private vehicles bring car on the road. See, already roads are very congested in Kathmandu. So what will happen? I think we need to think towards, like improving the public transport and things toward the mass transit. That is my understanding. In this slide, I'm quickly trying to give you the severity of the problem. I checked this last Saturday when I started preparing this slide, and as per the IQ air quality data, IQ value of the Kathmandu is 179, which is categorized as unhealthy. And if you see here, I'm just trying to point the mouse here. If you see the PM 2.5 concentration, that is currently around 19 times more than the WHO recommended guideline value. And I read one article, one of the research carried out by the team in the South Korea. They are saying that this lung cancer and other cancers are associated with this PM2.5 concentration, like a particle. When we are inhaling them, they are, causing those issues in our body. So they do, every day we are inhaling this kind of poison in Kathmandu. So again, if you see this deadly disease linked to air pollution are adding burden to the country's public health system every day. We don't know what is the burden at the moment. It has to be quantified. Some studies needed, but in my understanding, this burden to the public health system is increasing every day. Again, this is the quick overview of the status of the road safety in Nepal. Around 13 people do not return home at the evening for forever because they are killed on the road. This is as per the WHO 2016 data. And if you see there again, if you see the external cost to the economy due to this premature death and disabilities, it is around 1% of the GDP. Again, if you see the long-term effect on the families due to the death and disabilities of the breadwinner, this is heartbreaking. So this is the situation. This data is based on WHO 2016 data, but I recently got another one based on the 2021 data from WHO. These data are as per this new data is even more. Instead of 13 people, I think around 20 people are not returning at home at the evening for forever in the fall. So, again, this is the issue I'm seeing here. Despite the huge trade deficit with India, it's around 12 cargo at the moment. And that is, if you see there, the major component is on the vehicle import, their external cost to the economy due to the traffic congestion, air pollution, all the import of the petroleum product, spare parts. If you consider all this, there is a very big contribution to this external cost to economy because of this element. And on the other hand, if you see our policy of the Ministry of Finance, they are always promoting to import the private vehicle to the country because they are imposing around 200 250% tax, and they see that tax as a source of income to run the government. So this is becoming the one of the root cause of the issue, which has to be addressed from the policy level. Now let's see what are the opportunities we have. First, I'm trying to, list out this opportunity to improve the, road intersection. In Nepal, what I have seen is authorities are very interested to widen the road, to add the road, to make the road wide, but they are totally neglecting the road intersections. If you see the function of road intersection, if you see here, for example, you can see my mouse here, this area of the intersection should be shared by the vehicle coming from in all the direction. So what is happening? This area has to be designed very properly. We need to be very careful while designing this area. For example, if you are providing roundabout, we need to be very careful while designing this roundabout, because all these elements, for example, if you see this storage lane here, queue lane there, these all parameters are depending on the design speed and the traffic flow. How many, for example, if you see here, how many vehicles are coming here and how many vehicles had to wait here during the, red signal here, and how long this queue is building here, that will decide the length of this storage length. But what is happening in our case, we have not gone in that detail. There is no system to, do the proper traffic study and get the data and use that data to design the intersection. And we are not able to, design the proper, intersection. And what is happening? The network capacity, if you see the road network capacity, it will depend on the intersection capacity, not the link capacity. Though we are widening the road, but there are issues on the intersection. So, like there is a congestion. So we are not able to increase the, we are not able to increase the capacity of the network because we are not designing road intersection properly. So another diagram I have put here in our, like a rural road, maybe we can put this, like storage lane here, so through vehicle can go like this, and if the vehicle has to take turn here, right turn here, they can wait here and they can wait for the acceptable gap and cross this. So what I'm trying to say is we need to provide some sort of traffic control mechanism by proper design of the road intersection. On this topic, I delivered on webinar, I think around 4 years back when SSTN was inviting me to, deliver this. And I have, this is available in this YouTube. And if you are interested there, I'm just, I have spoken about road intersection design only for more than 1 hour. So there I'm trying to go in very detailed. So if you are interested, you can have a look there. I will share these slides and you can go to this link and watch the YouTube video. These are some of the newly built road in Nepal. So if you see here a few days back, mayor of the Bharatpur municipality Renu Dahal has shared this picture in her Facebook post, and we are very proud that we have built such a nice road here. But if you see here how this area is being used, if you if we count the number of conflict here, sorry, so it's massive. Similarly, there is another junction here. So what is happening? We are widening road. We are making it very wide. It's provoking the high speed, driving. But what is happening? We are not addressing the key issues here. Similarly, this is Guarco intersection, we don't have any of those consideration. So this is another from the, Viratnagar Itahari section. This is also newly built one. This is the, very high speed road. We spend lots of money here, but, we have just ignored this road intersection. So what I'm trying to say here is we have a massive opportunity to, improve this road intersection. To do that, I think I would have a strong recommendation to Department of Road to establish the design unit and see the international standard refer them and start designing this intersection properly, geometrically correct, and in such a way that will enhance the safety and improve the capacity of the network. I think this is very important in our context. In this slide, I'm just trying to show the level of sustainability based on the mode. And obviously, we all know walking is the most sustainable solution, and driving alone in the private car is the least sustainable mode of transportation. And in this slide, I'm just trying to show most of the people in Kathmandu travel an average of less than 5 kilometers in a day. What should be the ideal infrastructure for this? If you see here, this is the map of Kathmandu. If you see here, in this left-hand side, this is Kalangi, and this is Kapangumba. If you see this distance is around 10 kilometers. So if you consider Ratna Park as the center of Kathmandu, in an average, people are traveling 5 kilometers in a day. So what will be the ideal type of infrastructure for this kind of city? We are not big like, for example, Delhi, Mumbai. They are very big cities. We are not big like London, for example. So here it's this 10-kilometer diameter. So what should be the ideal kind of infrastructure for this? I think we need to think in that direction. So I'm just bringing this point here. Dr. Partha Pravajuli has been advocating for this 3B policy for the Kathmandu Valley since I think 90s. He's the one, he's introducing these things in Kathmandu, and I have seen he's very actively advocating for that. What he is saying is, out of this 3B, this first B is for, boot means to, improve the pedestrian facilities, sidewalks, and other things. And, another B is for the bike. We need to have his argument is we need to have a massive, cycle infrastructure in Kathmandu, so that can serve the purpose. And another B is for the bus, like improve public transportation system. So I fully agree with his argument, and I have in my opinion, we need to like adopt this policy to improve the and improve and address the transportation issue of Kathmandu. Now, if you see in past 20-25 years, many European cities have realized that if we allow private cars to come to the city cores without any restriction, they will destroy the city. So what they have started is they have started, like building the dedicated busway, and they have gone for the, like concept of the park and ride. So, so that, like they will, prevent city from destroying because of the flow of the private, like vehicles in the city core area. This is the example of Cambridge where I live now. If you see here, all these, like pink circle that I have marked here, they are the park and ride facilities. And if you see this, line here, blue and, like pink markup, this is the guided busway where only buses are allowed. And if you see here, this pink link to the city core of the Cambridge city, this is the core of the city where, like Cambridge University and most of the core area of the city here. And all these, pink dotted line that I have marked in this map are dedicated bus lane to go to the city core. And if you see this, like purple circle from Camborne to Cambridge, and there is another, like project at the moment ongoing by county council, and they are planning to construct similar kind of dedicated busway here. It is on planning stage at the moment. And another link, if you see here from Waterbase to Cambridge, this is the another proposed, like busway going on at the moment. And just to like share here, it's we are our company is working on this project at the moment, and I'm working on this like connectivity here. So what they are saying is the idea here is, if you see the idea here is, if you come by bus in this like surrounding area, in this neighboring area, if you come by bus to the city core, you will reach faster than driving there. If you are driving there, it will take more time because you will be in the traffic congestion. And another measures they are putting is the parking here is very expensive in this area. So first thing is you are, like reaching there late, because if you go by bus, it will go faster than you because there is a dedicated busway. I'll show you the, like cross section later in next slide. And other point is parking is very expensive. So what is happening? For example, if I need to go to city center, normally I don't drive. I catch bus and I go by bus. Or either I cycle. So this is the, like this kind of, this is one example, and there are many, like cities in UK, they are, like adopting this policy, they are developing, like dedicated busway, they are developing park and ride. And in my understanding, I don't think in our context, we need to have park and ride because our private vehicle ownership is comparatively very low, because our GDP, our like per capita on the range of like 1,800 or 2,000 pounds. So it's still very low. So I don't see the need of the park and ride, but like in my opinion, this dedicated busway to connect the Kathmandu. If you come here, for example, from the like all these major arterial, if we can connect to center of the Kathmandu by the dedicated busway, and if we allow people to come like faster than by motorbike, for example, faster than car in the city core area, I think people would definitely use that. And that will help people to, like shift the mode of transportation. In this one, if you see here, now I'm going to show you in next slide. I'm going to show you the arrangement of this link here, where I have marked this blue and pink, which is this one here. If you see here, what is happening, they have provided the, like kind of track for the buses only. Other vehicles cannot go there. So what is happening? Other vehicles are in the traffic jam, but buses can go straight and without any traffic jam, and there is no like hindrance at all. So this is the approach like European cities are adopting nowadays. And if you see this pink dotted one here, this is the like typical cross section for that arrangement, where you can see the dedicated busway towards going to the city. So in the city core, people can go using this bus lane. So other vehicles are not allowed, only emergency vehicles and taxis and bicycles are allowed there. So buses can reach faster than the the private car. So if you see here, this is the like typical example of the park and ride facility. So this capacity of this park and ride facilities are ranging from like around 500 car park capacity to 2000 car park capacity, depending on the area. So what will happen is people will like from the neighboring area, people will come here in the car. They will park here, for example, in this park and ride, and they will take a bus here in the city core, and they will work here, complete their work, and at the evening they'll go back here in this park and ride, and they will take their car and go to their home. So this is the arrangement. So what is happening? The city area is almost car free. So in this slide, I'm trying to show, as per WHO in Nepal, out of total annual road death, around 30 to 35% are pedestrian. In my understanding, pedestrians are the most innocent road user, and but because of lack of the proper crossing and sidewalks, people are killed on the road. I'll give you an example. When I go to Kathmandu, like I live in Kapan, and my kids normally they want to go to Bhatpateni in the like Maharajganj, and I do think it's only 2 kilometer distance, but I do think if there is a like I don't have car there and I don't have vehicle there, so if there is a footpath, I can easily walk there. But there is no footpath in Ring Road. There is no footpath to to go to like from Kapan to Maharajganj. There is no footpath at all, so I cannot take a risk to like walk next to the like high speed vehicle with my kids, and it's also dusty. So what is happening? People don't prefer to walk there. Similarly, what I have seen is people don't want to mix with this like a motorized vehicle in bicycle. So people are discouraged to use active mode of transportation in Kathmandu. So but if you see, as per the like Nepal road standard minimum, that like we are talking about the minimum footpath, it should be 2 meter, and in the urban area in the it should be minimum 2.4 meter. But what is happening? It is there in the standard, but we are not able to implement it. So I think there is opportunity to improve these things. In this slide, I'm just trying to show you the, like different type of consideration as per the global practice for the, like pedestrian crossing and sidewalk. Normally, we separate, motorized vehicle and pedestrian by, like either by time or space. We normally provide the refuse island for the crossing, speed calming measures, like all these things, safety parameter, we, like provide in the crossings and sidewalk. This is the global practice. So here I'm just trying to show this, like graph. This is just to give this, like indication what is happening, like this fatality and severity of this, like when you are getting injured because of during the road accident. This is mainly because the, like mechanical energy from the vehicle is coming, transferring into our body. So that mechanical energy in the vehicle is coming from speed. So what is happening? You can see here. If the vehicle is around, like 30 kilometer per hour, if that vehicle is hitting someone, like probability of dying is around 7%. But if vehicle is on, like 70 kilometer per hour speed, and if it is hitting any pedestrian, the probability of dying is around 95%. So you can see this, like this exponential change in curvature here. There is a like like exponential change in severity of accident due to speed with speed. So I think this one diagram is more than enough. Why we need to have speed calming measures, and we have like pedestrianized area. So let's go to the another one. This table I have taken from LTN 120. LTN 120 is local transportation note and published by like UK authority here. This is about like choosing the type of crossing. Maybe Birendra sir will add on this later. I don't have much this, but yeah. So what it is saying is, if the like vehicle is going, if the speed limit is 30 miles per hour, if the vehicle like AADT is less than 4,000, we can and we are providing one lane crossing for the pedestrian, we can have like uncontrolled crossing, just zebra is enough. But if the vehicle is, like number of vehicle is increasing and the speed is increasing, we need to go for, like different type of categories. So we cannot have just, like leave the zebra pen crossing here. So, and in addition to that, what I have found is this guideline is very good for the, like cycle infrastructure designing. If anyone interested, I can share this, like guidelines. You can text me. I can share this. In this slide, this is the newly built road somewhere in eastern Nepal. I again found it in the social media, and I'm just trying to show here. Uh, Actually, if you see in the developing countries, what research is showing is there was a research. I still remember when I was there in IIT Delhi, professor of IIT Delhi were conducting some research on this, and what they found is false sense of safety at zebra crossing is killing more pedestrians in developing countries than like undesignated road crossing. So it's better to not to paint zebra without safety consideration. So that would be my suggestion. If you see here in this, in this zebra crossing, what is happening? This road is clearly, it's provoking high speed driving. People can fly there, So, and here pedestrian has to cross 3 lane to come here. There is no proper refuse island. And again, they need to cross 3 lane here and people are flying there. And what is happening? People are killed there. So this is the problem. So we are spending, like millions of rupees there to build this infrastructure. And I don't agree that we don't have money. We are a poor country because we are, like building such a massive infrastructure. But the issue is we are not designing them properly. And I see the massive opportunity to improve these designs. So another one here, this is the cycle lane network in Cambridge. I'm just trying to show you. I had shown you the how they are improving the public transportation in Cambridge, and this is another example how they are investing in the cycle lane network in Cambridge. So if you see here, all these green lines, they have started calling this greenways. They are like a active travel route. They are like I have shown in this picture here. They are dedicated for cycles and pedestrian only. So no vehicles are going there. And these roads you can see all these green area connected to city are those cycle lanes. And there are another type of cycle lanes, as I have shown here in this picture down here. Hope you can see my mouse. I'm moving here. So these kind of cycle lane sharing the same carriageway, like with other vehicle, but they are dedicated on the side here. So they can safely go there. There is some sort, like some sort of delineation there. So like motorized vehicle cannot come there and they can freely drive. So they are you can see here this dotted one and this black dotted and black lines are these kind of cycle lane. So we can see like rich cities are investing on this public transportation and like cycle infrastructure and footpath, but But unfortunately, what is happening, we are not able to, like implement this concept in our country. So this is the picture from Kottesar to Kalanki, newly built in a couple of years back. It was open, I think, this ring road. And we have 8 lane, 4 lane, 4 lane. If you count here, we have massive infrastructure here, but there is no cycle lane. Even it is very difficult to walk here and cross the road. So this is the issue. So I think I see a massive opportunity to improve the like sidewalk and cycle lane in Nepal. So in my understanding, there is a challenge to like we engineering community to make the people understand, make like the benefits of these things, you know. So to explain this to policymaker, to make them understand, I think we need to work hard. Otherwise, we will be destroying our cities. So my thoughts are maybe our VIP culture to blame because like if somebody is going in car, we appreciate that, Rewa is a nice car kind of comment, and like if somebody is going on the cycle, we see in different way. There is a VIP culture we can see from from the high rank political leaders to in even in government institution and other things. So maybe that is the reason. And maybe because people making the policies do not ride bicycle, that is another, like thing that could be the issue. Oh, who will ride the bicycle kind of comments sometimes we hear. And maybe lack of the awareness on the policymaker and, other individuals. So I think we need to, make a big, awareness on this in my understanding. So just think how many people would be using this, bicycle if there was, let's say, like 5 meter wide active travel route in the side. Now nobody want to get mixed with this motorized traffic. So I think we need to advocate for this. In this slide, I am just trying to show the benefit of cycling and walking investment. So there was a research by Department for Transport UK in 2018, and they have found there are lots of health related benefits, lots of mental health related benefits, and lots of benefits on the air quality that's supporting the climate change related issues and meeting the net zero commitments of the UK government. And congestion is drastically reducing. It's supporting the local business, supporting the economy, creating jobs. So there are so many benefits of investing on the cycling and walking investment. So definitely in our context, we don't have these kind of detailed studies, but I think we can need to we need to use them to advocate in our context. So concept behind it's the same in my understanding. I just want to toss this, like Kathmandu Metro. We sometimes we hear this discussion, and from our team, from SONEUK UK, Dr. Vinod Amartya, he's actively advocating for this in several years. So, in my understanding, so I have just taken this example from the Asia in our neighboring metros near to Kathmandu. So, if you see, when we are seeing this cost, for example, this Dhaka Metro, this is 153 million per kilometer cost. Patna Metro, they have just started, but the estimated cost is 53.4 million per kilometer. So Delhi Metro, I found, like bit old rate here, and this is for the Jakarta North South lane. This is around 70 million per kilometer. So when we are looking that, like cost in, normally, like these kind of questions coming in my mind, can Kathmandu afford metro rail? Looking at this, cost, and can we design build? Another thing is, can we design, build, and operate with its current capability? So we are, to be honest, we are not able to, like build the, like basic infrastructure in some way. For example, pedestrian crossing, signalizing the intersection, designing the intersection properly, we're not able to do that. But how we can with current. So in my understanding, the minimum requirement is, we need to, like do a institutional capacity building, and we should have that capability, I think, first, or to, like go for this kind of massive investment on the metro. This is just my personal opinion. We can discuss on this. Another hot topic nowadays is moving towards e-mobility. I will just quickly give the pros and cons of this. So utilization of the huge height in our context, these are the positive part of this. Clean cities, no tail pipelines. We have a hydropower potential. It will reduce the trade deficit associated with the petroleum product. These are the okay. That's fine, but we should not forget EVs don't help for the traffic management. Monies go out while importing EVs again. Maybe it will go to China rather than India. That is different, but monies go out. And there are issues with the replacing and disposing batteries. And tires due to vehicle weight is again, like very, like detrimental to the environment. And again, the issue related to carbon footprint of the batteries is going on. So, and again, EVs don't help to reduce the road crashes. So, these are the just my thoughts I wanted to share with you. So here, I am sure, I think some of us are already, like aware of this. In 2010, UN invited WHO to coordinate the drive to improve road safety globally and declare the first decade of action of road safety in 2011. Since then, many countries around the globe have implemented this safe system approach to reduce the road fatalities globally. And in this approach have been proven that it's working, it's reducing fatalities significantly wherever people are implementing this properly. So if you see here, as per the safe system approach, there are four basic elements here. The first one is the safer people. Here you can see safer road, safer vehicle, safer speed. What this safe system approach trying to say is we need to work on all these elements together. For example, if 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 road is very safe, we have safety barrier, everything proper, like proper, for example, super elevation, curvatures, like all this, but we are going at very high speed, and like haphazardly we are just driving, so there is a chances of like a road accident. So for example, road is very nice, but people are not educated, people don't know how to drive, they are just getting driving license without proper training. In that case also we cannot like reduce the fatality. For example, road is nice, people are nice, but the safety of the vehicle is very poor. They are not periodically checked, and and vehicle has issues. Then also we cannot reduce the fatalities. So what safe system approach saying is we need to work on all these elements together to reduce the road fatalities. And it is being demonstrated, it is being proven that if this approach is working in many countries. So there is one thing, like this four element has to be supported by, as per safe system approach, all these four element has to be supported by road safety management system. So there should be one independent body to look after the, like all these road safety related things, and that should manage the whole element. So currently what is happening in our context, sometimes, like traffic police is saying, like we are just looking the enforcement and we don't know, like kind of thing. And on the other hand, like authorities like DOR and other municipalities who are building road, they are saying we are just, like building the road. We are here to build the road. Kind of. So who is operating these roads safely? So there is kind of confusion in our context. So I think if there is a like proper road safety management system, if there is a like for example, road safety council there, so that will coordinate all these things with the various parties, and we can reduce the fatalities. And another element is again, these four elements should be supported by road safety management system, as I just mentioned, and post-crash response. If anything goes wrong, we should have immediate rescue system in place. So this is the, safe system approach. I think there is a massive opportunity to implement this in our context. Normally, what is happening, authorities are looking at cost only. If we go this, it will be very expensive. We don't have this money, kind of, sometimes we hear. I think there's a road safety bill. It's pending in Parliament since like 2016, because and I heard that it is with the Ministry of Finance now, because they are saying there is a huge cost associated with the road safety bill, so they don't want to pass it. But what we should not forget is, these things, if we, implement properly, it's creating lots of jobs. It's reducing road fatality. There are, lots of benefit from that side. We have already seen the, external cost of the economy associated with that. So those hidden costs, I think we are ignoring at the moment. So there are lots of benefit of investing on this and implementing this in our context. So that would be my suggestion. This table, I have listed out what would be the responsibility of a state and what would be the responsibility of citizen within the framework of the safe system approach. If you see here, this, these are the element of the safe system approach. Definition is here, state's responsibility. राज्यले के गर्नुपर्ने हो is listed out here. What should be the individuals, citizens' responsibility is listed here. Similarly, road safety management system, what is this? Within this framework, what is the responsibility of, a state here? I have listed out here. I think we don't have enough much time to go in detail. I deliver one webinar on certain, episode 8 of the knowledge sharing session on holistic approach to improving road safety in Nepal. There I have discussed this table in a very detail. I am, trying to tell there what is the responsibility of DOR, what could be the responsibility of DOTM, Department of Transport Management in Nepalese context, what should be the role of the Ministry of Home Affairs, and what is the role of the traffic police within the framework of the safe system, and how Ministry of Education and Health Ministry can support on this. So these things I have discussed in detail. This is available in YouTube. You can have a look if you are interested. So when we talk about road safety and traffic management, in many cases, I think we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are lots of things, this are method of practices, they are already proven and they are working in different part of the world. So if we implement them, they will definitely work in Nepal as well. So there may be some, behavioral issue, if you see, maybe, because of culture and other things, slightly, in the locality, in the local area. But if you see, research are showing behavior of the people is depend in some sort, some level, it depend on the environment, facility and infrastructure around people. So when these things are changing, so it will gradually change the behavior of the people. So what I'm trying to say is we should not hesitate to implement right thing in the right way, which is proven in the different part of the world. So this is my, understanding. For example, road safety audit, there is a standard formal way of carrying out this. There are the clear guidelines. People have started using this since last 20, 30 years. So we can use that, concept, we can use that, framework, and we can implement in our context. So again, as I mentioned earlier, in this article I published in Kathmandu Post a couple of years back, I'm trying to argue why, we need to make this road safety audit mandatory for, in the road, and what are the benefit of that? What should be the institutional framework for that? I'm trying to argue there. If you are interested, you can go there. And again, I've been saying this traffic impact study, we need to, we should have established the system to carry out the traffic impact study, because all these road design parameters are depend on that. I'll give you one simple example. Uh, Give a simple example, like when Bhatbhateni thought that they will start supermarket in Maharajganj, for example. At that time, before giving approval to Bhatbhateni to start the supermarket at Maharajganj, our authorities should see how much traffic is generated by that Bhatbhateni in that area. And what is the pressure of that Bhatbhateni in terms of traffic in Maharajganj, like Narangopal Chowk Junction. So these things will come from traffic impact study. But what is happening even now, we don't have this train to carry out the traffic impact study of the new development and how much traffic is generated because of that. I think in my understanding, this is also the very good opportunity we have, and we should start doing this. And another thing I'm trying to say is this: decide and provide approach for the transport planning in the urban road, and normally if you see there in last 50 years, all these transport planning model are demand driven model. If there is the like increased volume of traffic, just let's make the road wide, just add the lane kind of concept, that is as per highway capacity manual. So, but what is happening? Like things are changing now. If we allow people to bring private vehicle in the city core, we have already seen it's not possible. We are destroying the cities. So things are changing. So this decide and provide approach is new approach. First, we see what is like required. We decide that how do we want to see our cities? How do we want to see our like the streets? Then only we'll start like building infrastructure. So I think again, there is a massive opportunity go in this concept. I'm just trying to give you the simple example from the Chandni Chowk, Delhi. Chandni Chowk was like this when I was there in Delhi doing, like course in IIT Delhi. It was very crowded, and now the Chandni Chowk is like this. Just think where all these vehicles have gone. So what is happening now? Southern Chowk is fully pedestrianized. I'm just completing, sir. Just give me a couple of minutes. So this Chandni Chowk, even now, it is connected with the public transportation. Even the emergency vehicles are going there. People are walking there. All the all system is running there. But just think the health of this, like area, health of the people living there, and benefit of that. So I think we need to develop our city course in this way. Okay, I'm just leaving this to the floor. How can we, like, support from Nepalese diaspora? We'll discuss this. Thank you so